Yeah, LOZ, we gotta bring it out. Pick up the lost sheep. Yeah, hey. Hey, hey, bring it out. We got the truth when we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. We got the truth when we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. LOC, let's go. Bring it out. We got the truth when we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. LOC, got the truth when we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Let's gotta wake up the sheep. My people falling asleep. We got to show now. We put in that work and now we put the work in the streets. We trying to build up the nation. We patient. My people been facing defeat. We teach of repentance. We deep in them trenches. You know that we bringing the heat. We tackling demons like every day. Waking up all the people. We setting straight. Keep our head in them scriptures. We meditate. All in the truth. I can't back down and hesitate. All praise to the Most High. With it no cosign. With it keep the law. We gon' levitate. We them Jews. There be no lies. With it there we won't doubt. With it for the truth. I'm a heavyweight. We live in this spiritual warfare. We all gotta gather together. We do that. We got the nations of warfare. We a separate nation. No explanation. My people, they need to listen. Crunch time. Yeah, time is ticking. But the truth, I'm a servant. No stopping. We working. Just hoping my people will see the mission. So we gotta bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Some help to bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. LOC bringing that light, shining on what we're achieving. Wake up the people that's sleeping. Wake up that nation like coffee. Wake up and take up your cross beat. Pull up past the man, you lost me. You should be teaching that Christmas. I'm sure that you know that it's pagan. Look how we packing the prisons, blatantly destroying our nation. Single parent home is definitely becoming our swag. Then we send our children through the same system, pledging their allegiance to flags. Bring that out. 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 You gotta show. Bring that out. Get your knowledge on the go. Bring that out. Wisdom help the nation grow. Bring that out. Get the truth in the form of a show. Bring that out. All of our soldiers amazing. 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 All of our captains be leading. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. LOC bringing that light, shining on what we're achieving. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. All of our captains be leading. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. LOC bringing that light, shining on what we're achieving. Wake up the people that's sleeping. Wake up that nation like coffee. Wake up and take up your cross beat. Pull up past the man, you lost me. You should be teaching that Christmas. I'm sure that you know that it's pagan. Look how we packing the prisons, blatantly destroying our nation. Single parent home is definitely becoming our swag. Then we send our children through the same system, pledging their allegiance to flags. Bring that out. 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 I say the Hebrews gotta show. Bring that out. get your knowledge on the go. Bring that out. Wisdom help the nation grow. Bring that out. Get the truth in the form of a show. The pressure be building, the flesh and the spirit be battling. I gotta stay awake. Can't lose my faith, 'cause that's all that I gotta be sinning. It's time that I change my ways. Repentance is all on my mind. I gotta stay righteous. I'm taking it day to day. Stay strong in the battle I fight. I wanna do right. Ain't no time to play it safe. I put all that almost got. Commandments gon' keep me alive. We fighting them demons. My spirit on defense. I do what I do to survive. I took some wins and some losses. I don't got no options. Repent or I die. The kingdom stay all on my mind. Stay in them scriptures. I've been on the grind. Yeah, how will be taking me further? You're not the old man. It's a matter. He can't be creeping it. So make sure you know that I'm seeking it. Killing my weaknesses. Can't see the feet again. I need the strength in the spirit. I can't have to fear. I'm too strong and I need a win. Most how you know that I'm seeking him. Go out to battle. We preaching it. Give them the gospel. Yes, we the chosen. Scriptures we breaking inside of them chains. We spreading that news. Time to free the broken. Pay close attention. You need to notice. All the religions we see they focus, but we lost with guidance. We gotta keep fighting. I stay at work 'cause I need to focus. Soldier mentality, we've been walking. Yeah. Stay strong, I'm a warrior. 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 No one they palm, that was miles and what? I was stuck in my ways, now he gets the praise. I ride with your house with my bodyguard. I need that protection, I need all the blessings to fall on my lap. Don't keep them laws and calling you how when you're better. No daddy ain't calling you back. I put in the actions, breaking scripts down like a fraction. I strive for the kingdom, my passion. Never been passive, putting that work, never slacking. No, we do not care about the masses. Yeah, that's Luke 15 and 10. Spread out the word and we bringing them in the truth. Changing the word with those scripts, bringing that dead back to life. Yes, I'm living through. Yes, I had the mind of a heathen. Now I'm on the grind, never sleeping. It's the right time of the season. Look at all the signs that we see. Ride with the most high. I can never vibe with the demons. Hey, I see my people, we heard it. Bring them the truth is a purpose. I'm in that army, yeah, how was the leader? No one can defeat us as long as we working together. I strive to do better. Make some mistakes, but I'm working to fix it. Been living my life through the pressure. Hey, making them diamonds, my stars is a lot. I can't back up, no, I cannot let them. I gotta stay on my P's and Q's. Gotta get stronger, cause we don't go long in this battle. Yes, you gotta see the truth. You gotta see the truth, yeah. Stay strong, I'm a warrior. Stay strong, I'm a warrior. Stay strong, I'm a warrior.
Engineer, bring that light up closer. All right, we have the Bring It Out radio show, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now. It is showtime. We're finally here. All right, we got a little bit of a late start today, but trust me, it's going to be a wonderful show. Looking forward to having a great show with a lot of, we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss these topics that affect our lives, our daily lives, given a biblical perspective. Things we got to know according to this truth, man. The things that we got to know that's going to get us right with our Father that's in heaven. Not only that, but also take care of our lives today, because we got a life to live right now. Yah is blessing this life and the life to come. And we have to make sure that we are responsible with everything that we are trying to accomplish in these lives that the Father has put before us. So we definitely are, happy to be here and praise the Most High. And this Bring It Out show. I don't do this thing alone, man. I came with an illustrious team. You know what I mean? I have my sniper with a rifle 200 yards away, right? Got those 40 cals slinging by your ear, all right? I'm a one Bun lawyer, Bun Yashua is in the building. I also have waiting in the wings, all right? The anchor man with the master plan, anchor man Amawataza is in the building. I also have the engineer extraordinaire, Captain Nicole, right? Keeping us looking clean, keeping that camera angles tight, right?
Crispy.
Making sure we're looking right, right? I also have our producer. She's in the building with us today on the phone lines. Just our producers in the building, right? Producer Mariah's in the building. Hallelujah. Right. So we have the team, right? You were just being entertained by the best DJ in Jerusalem, DJ Baruch, on the 4-in-1. If you understand that, right? You know that's important right there. Check out Baruch 4-in-1 then you understand, right? Baruch 4-in-1 was you've been entertained by the musical stylings of the DJ from Jerusalem. All right, man, we here. You see the title. You make our women feminine again, all right?
That's right.
Now I know what the backlash is gonna be already. We're gonna deal with the backlash from the front door. Now, this is not any woman bashing going, but this is a cry to put things back in the order that the Most High gave us to be in, because we have suffered so much disorder, trauma in the families of those that have been descendants of the slave trade, that we have to restart and restructure what is it to be man, woman, husband, wife, father, mother. That we have to go through a restructuring from the very foundation of the learning and the understanding of the intention of our Creator. Our Creator did not intend for us to operate in the way we've been operating. There's something called the war of the sexes out there. There should be no war of the sexes amongst our people. These things are something that we picked up from our slave master, from his problem with his woman, right? The Caucasian had a problem with his woman, and our women picked up that plight, and it's caused havoc in our own homes, in our community. But when it affects us worse, because we're trying to climb out of the captive mind state, the slave mentality.
Right.
Too long, we've been in that mode or mean of life, and the Father, in his infinite wisdom and his prophecy, we're supposed to be coming out of the slave mentality in these last days, right? We're in that time of the reviving. We're not in the time of the enslaving,
right,
or the time of the chastisement. We're coming out of the chastisement. The chastisement is now being issued onto our oppressor. It's his time to go through the chastisement. We did our time, right? Now Israel's to rise up, right? No more Negro, no more black, no more nigger, no more Hispanic, no more Latino, but Hebrew Israelites again. And as we become Hebrew Israelites again, our men have to be more masculine and our women have to be more feminine, getting back to the root of what the Father created. So that's what this show we're going to talk about tonight. We got some video. We're going to have some call-ins. We're going to have the female perspective on the show.
Got some special guests tuning in.
You know, right? Some special guests tuning in. The female perspective is going to be on the show as well. I mean, it's going to be a great show. All right. And Matt, without further ado, I'd like to bring up the anchor man with the plan. Let's bring him up on screen. Get him involved. Get him logged in from the stratosphere. Link into his satellite and bring him down. There he goes. He's live from the outer rings, right? So you gotta have his intro music. You just can't let the man in, man.
That sounds like it's about to be a family reunion.
Shalom, shalom, chief. Shalom, shalom, captains, as well as shalom, shalom, Yasharala. This is your humble Hebrew Israelite anchorman, bringing you the news for the Hebrews as we usually do. Shalom.
All right.
And Martin's not even got the famous anchorman smile too. I think he
it,
got it down pat.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him right. We got to get on his level, right? All right, so we're gonna get it. We're gonna get in with you, Anchorman. But we got to get the Most High the first word. So let's get Colossians 3, verse 17. And let's give him the
You gonna put
first.
it
He
on the
gets the
screen,
first and the last word. Because the Most High is why we all here. All right, so let's give him the first and last word. Let's go.
Book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai, Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him.
Right. So giving thanks to the Most High always, for he reigneth and ruleth forever in our heart, soul, and mind. And he is and his son is the finisher of our faith, when the world's called Jesus Christ, but we know his name to be Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right. I want to start with something different. Let's start with Isaiah 5 and 13. Isaiah 5 and 13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, and verse 13
Come.
says, Therefore, my people are gone into captivity,
Right?
because they have no knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and their honorable men are famished,
Go ahead.
and their multitude dried up with thirst.
So there was a condition of our people when we went into captivity. And when we was in captivity, we had no knowledge. No knowledge of what?
Self.
Of self
Right.
and of our God. Right? It said, many days we shall abide without a king, without an image. Right? But those days pass. We have knowledge of ourselves now.
Mhm.
Right? We know what honor is now. Our men are now honorable again. The honorable man is not famished. I mean that there's no honorable men around. Matter of fact, the honorable men have returned to the earth. All praise to Yahweh by Hashem and Mashiach Yahweh Shai. It says, read on.
Come. Verse 14.
Read the last part of verse 13.
Verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity,
Mhm.
because they have no knowledge,
Right?
and their honorable men are famished,
Right?
and their multitude dried up with thirst.
And their multitude dried up with thirst. That means that the majority of our people had no information. They didn't know
Right.
their father. They didn't know. That thirst is not talking about thirsty like you can't drink water.
Those Zephyr Hills.
Right, Zephyr Hills. That thirst is talking about the washing of the water by the word. It's talking about we didn't know how to serve our God. We didn't know, the commandments of the Most High was for us. We were under a lot of philosophies of men. We weren't ourselves. This time is past. Read on.
Come, verse 14. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself,
Right?
and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend unto it.
Right. So what happened was, because we were destitute of the truth, we entered into a condition called hell. A lot of people looking for hell under the ground. No. We caught hell right here in America. Our people caught hell in England. Our
Mhm.
people caught hell in the Caribbean. Our people caught hell all over the earth. Everywhere we were scattered, we caught hell. We were stripped of our name, of our heritage, and we were stripped of our blessing because we were stripped of our laws.
Right.
And us not keeping the laws of Yah put us in a situation where we would not receive the blessings of Yah. And in the matter, it said that we all went down to it, into this hell. All our multitude and their pump. What does their pump mean? Even our so-called wise men that were notable and noble in those days, they also got into chains.
Right.
Right? It didn't matter what your social status was. We all went into chains as a nation together. So as a nation, we went in chains together. And as a nation, we're going to break out. We have broken out of
Right.
those chains. And we're breaking out of those chains every day on this side of the blessing. Remember, the word of the Most High was taken away from us, and now it's been returned. Right? We have to operate as we're coming out of hell, not that we're going further into it. All right. those of us that have woken up to this word, right? Let's read on.
Done. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And the mean man shall be brought down,
Mm-hmm.
and the mighty man shall be humbled,
Mm-hmm.
and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled.
Read.
Verse 16. But the Most High of hosts, shall be exalted in judgment,
Mm-hmm.
and Yahweh and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness.
Right. So what he says, read that verse again, Salakia.
Gone. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment,
Mm-hmm.
and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness.
Right. So, and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. So what happened? After we went into this horrible state, you know what I mean? The mean man and the mighty man and been humbled. The lofty has been humbled. And no matter what condition of life you were living in, you could have been a doctor, you could have been a bum on the street. We all had to get on those slave ships.
Right.
Right. If y'all understand what the scripture's saying, right? It didn't matter your status. When they stripped us of our clothes, you know, you see these pictures of us with no shirt on and loincloth on. That's because they stole our clothes. We used to wear clothes. Don't believe for a second we were walking around
We
naked.
wear a lot of clothes when we was in the East.
You know what I'm saying? We were
Covered
fully
up.
adorned in clothing, but you see all these pictures with our women bare breast and everything. They took
Mhm.
our clothes because to take your attire is to take your identity from you. What they essentially was doing was stripping away our own identities
Right.
as we left the western coast of Africa, right, coming to the Americas, or we left the different ports in the Mediterranean and were traded amongst the European nations, put into ships of captivity. Just to understand what happened to us. Reason why I'm going over to this about this, because you got to understand what happened to us, so you can understand how far we are from what we should be, and how far we have to travel in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and just our behavior to get back to who we were pre-slavery. All right, read on.
Gone. Verse 17.
Mhm.
Then shall the lambs feed after their manner,
Mhm.
and the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat.
Go ahead.
Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity,
Mhm.
and sin as it were with a cart rope.
Read.
Verse 19. That say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come,
Right.
that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil,
Mhm.
that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter.
So this is the condition that we plummeted to, that we're calling darkness light, light darkness. We're confused in the masses, but the Father has set the clarity before us. This is what happened to us as we went into the captive state
Right.
called hell. But now we're coming out of the captive state called hell, coming back to our kingdom, coming back to righteousness, coming back to our true identity, right, on the earth. So we can't keep operating like slaves.
We gotta let those things go.
We gotta let it go.
Right.
Matter of fact, also give me one more verse. Give me they had made a covenant with death, and with was that Isaiah? Was that 28? They made a covenant with death, and with hell they had agreements. I think that's
Is it 28:5 or 28:25?
I
Of
can say
Isaiah?
28:15.
28:15.
Yeah,
28:15,
28:15.
You know, I just want to bring out a point, if I could land me back.
Yeah.
I remember, when it came to our ancestors, from the time we left Egypt in Exodus chapter 12,
Mhm.
it took the Most High up until, I believe, the first 7 chapters of Joshua. I forgot the verse off the top of my head. When he says, now he has taken away the reproach and the filth of Egypt off of us.
Yeah.
That took about 40 years of cleaning.
45 years, probably.
40, 45. Well,
Yeah.
matter of fact, 47, because it took
47
7 years to
years.
conquer, right?
47 years
years.
to clean us up.
To clean off that filth of Egypt off of us. That's crazy.
And had to kill the whole generation that was
Right.
that was marinating in the filth.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was a whole generation that came up in the wilderness. They didn't even live in Egypt,
Mhm.
but they still had to clean the stench from that they got that was passed down from their parents.
Right.
So you could understand our situation here in America and in England, in society today. There's a lot of cleansing that we got to do. There's a lot of cleanup.
Right.
We're so far from the Bible, far from the intentions of our Creator, that we have to be humbled and ready to be changed. Every aspect of our thoughts, our minds, our understanding got to be open to what the scriptures say.
Oh, there you go. It's in Joshua 5:9. There you go.
You got that Isaiah 28:15?
Cut. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15
28:15, good.
says, because ye have said,
Uh-huh.
we have made a covenant with death,
Uh-huh.
and with hell are we at agreement.
Right. A lot of times the things that we learned in hell, we agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
So once you agree with something, then it becomes a part of you. And now when somebody comes with a different concept, it's offensive
Mm-hmm.
because we've agreed with hell so long. We were taught this slave mentality. We've been taught this, by this Neanderthal man that calls himself, the CEO,
wise man,
the wise
CEO,
one,
senator.
right? We were raised by cavemen, educated by them
Mm-hmm.
in their educational system, in their religious system, in their morality system. It's cavemen that have been educating our forefathers for generations. You understand how much change we got to make?
Mm-hmm.
We're not cavemen. You know what I mean? We never was in caves. We didn't eat juniper root and bray in the morning and in the clefts of the rock. That's not our history. Our history starts with what? With royalty.
Mm-hmm.
Our history starts with being chosen of God.
Right.
When you learn about our history, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, what did they all have in common? They were all chosen by Yah. They all was given the blueprint of righteousness. The 12 patriarchs, the 12 tribes, 12 heads, they were raised by Yah to be an above people. But we're not moving that way because we didn't know. But now we know, and we have a responsibility to change. So when we said we're going to make our women feminine again, please don't get insulted, because it's not an insult to return to our heritage. It's an insult on how we've been living.
Right. To the Most High.
Right. We've been insulting the Most High. You know what I mean? The things that we hear our women and our men suffering with one another is an insult to the Heavenly Father. Right? We have to stop insulting him and start getting ourselves right. Read on.
Come. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through,
Mm-hmm.
it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Verse 16. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Power.
Let's jump down to 18 for a disposition of time. Jump down to 18.
God. Verse 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled.
And this is the beautiful part. Your covenant with death shall be disannulled. What does that mean? You no longer have a covenant with death.
It's over. Right.
It's over. So when you started keeping the Shabbats, the new moons, when you started putting your fringes on, getting that pork off your fork, right? When you started, marrying your wives, taking care of your children, when you started reverencing the Most High Yah, when you changed your name from Rakim and
Jaheim.
and Shaquan to Gabar and to Zion, you have disannulled your covenant with death. Sin is no longer your daily pleasure. Now your pleasure is in righteousness in the Most High. So, family, I need y'all to understand the transitional points, right? Read.
Right. Let me just land me back on that real quick. Right.
Mhm.
It's not just like off rip, because some Israelites, they might just hear like, damn, it's just disannulled just like that. They might
Oh,
have
no, no.
Christianity in their mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
speak.
baptism in the water.
Yeah.
No, if you notice everything Chief Minister is saying, it's actions that's going to help you
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
Right? It's the works that you put in, taking away that pork from your fork. That's a work behind it. Not only it's having faith and it's going to help you change, but there's a work behind it that you have to do to make that change happen. You know what I mean? So
Putting that
Salakia.
dress on.
Right.
You know, our women learning how to submit to their man.
Right.
Our men learning how to commit to their women. Right. Our children know how to obey their parents. Our parents knowing how to not vex their children. Right. Leadership in the community, how to make yourself an underling to a righteous man, to a right man, and not to make fools your leaders. A lot of times we made fools our leaders in this captivity. We looked up to basketball players and entertainers that were promoting unjust lifestyles, traumatic lifestyles, you know, running around woman after woman, and you know, and our women running at man after man. Name the big female actresses that are in Hollywood that are of our people. How many husbands have they had? You know what I mean? How much men they ran through? You know what I mean? Look at the men that they people hold in high regard. How much women have they ran through? Right? We got it. We're getting it right. But we have to disannul that covenant with death. We got to break up with Satan. Right? We got to say no more shall we follow your ways.
Right.
Right? Read.
Done. And your agreement with hell shall not stand.
That's right. That agreement has been broken. You are not the children of hell. You are the children. You're no longer the children of the dark. You're the children of the light. Go ahead.
When the overflowing scourge
Mhm.
shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it.
Mhm.
Verse 19. From the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you.
Mhm.
For morning by morning shall it pass over.
So this is going back to what happened to us. We were trodden down by that overflowing scourge, meaning that whipping. The Most High put that whip on our behinds, and we were all taken by it. But now it's broken off. So now we can have this discussion, making women feminine again. All right. We can have the discussion tonight. I know we started late. It's going to be a bit of a late show, but it's going to be a powerful show. I wanted to bring up, I wanted to play a little video if we can. I want to play that little Kevin Samuel clip. You know, Kevin Samuels, you know, RIP to the homie, right? He caused a lot of people some discomfort, but with good intent, because things need to be talked about. We need to be taken on head on. So I wanted to play that little clip from Kevin Sam and open up this conversation, get the Anchorman tuned up. I know we got some news that for the Hebrews. So we're going to get to the Anchorman after this video. Then we're going to get back in this discussion. Let's go.
I've seen so many pretty, beautiful, and or gorgeous, educated, talented women giving their lives to their jobs in this fantasy they've created because they are mule mindsets. A woman can have all of the physical traits, the resume and everything else, but what most men cannot identify is a woman and her mindset. A woman can come from a two-parent household, but if her mindset is of a mule, if her mindset is off, what do you do? Because what these women will go back and say, men can't lead, they can't do this, they can't do that, they can't.
We just playing audio.
Doing the disclaimer.
He was going in though, Chief. He was going in.
You know, you got to understand that
Yeah.
a mule mindset is very powerful, because what is a mule? Esau, he took horses and mated them with donkeys, and he created this thing called a mule. Mule is not a naturally occurring animal. Creating mules don't come by nature, because they would be more powerful. But then because he was crossbreeding, their minds were not as sharp as a horse or a donkey. all they can do is pull the cart, but they were very strong. So that mule mind state is a very strong personality. When I say strong, I mean stubborn, right? When people say you're stubborn as a mule,
Right.
right? They were very stubborn animals that you had to whip them and drag them in to get them to do the right thing. But once you got them moving in the right direction, they were like unstoppable beasts. But this was something bred by Esau. And the reason why it's important that we understand that, because a lot of our sisters' mentality was bred by Esau. It wasn't the way they were. It wasn't the what they were created to be. If you go into the book, the Willie Lynch letter, it talks about how the breaking process of the black woman is written about in the Willie Lynch letter, how they systematically change our sisters' minds towards the men of our society. So something happened to our sisters. A lot of them think they are the way they are because it's the best way to be, but it's not true. This is a condition that happened to you. It's a trauma.
And they made it a comfortable being like that.
Right.
Right.
They made it acceptable in society. It's kind of like with the people that identify. We got males that identify as females, and it became acceptable in society, but it's still not right. If you were born a male, you're a male. If you're born a female, you're a female. You cannot identify your way out of who you are. And if you're a woman or that's to be joined to a man, there's only one way you to be joined to a man, and that's through submission. And there's only one way a man can join to you, and that's through commitment. There is no other way. Right? If men are submitting to their wives, there's a problem, right? That you might think it's you could get accustomed to it, but later on, the effects of it is going to show. And everyone is going to hurt. The children are going to hurt. The community is going to hurt. You know, people are going to want to know what's wrong with this man. Why we can't get the power out of this man that's contained in him, because he's being oppressed by the woman. The scriptures say women and children shall be what?
Right, they're oppressors.
Shall be our oppressors. Right. This is all factual. I'm not coming off the this is not no personal attack on women. This is all scriptural. Scriptures tell us women and children shall be their oppressors. Why? Because the man has lost his position in the earth. He lost his position with his God. But now it's been restored. Everything has to be restored in it. If this man going to be a man of Yahushai, like Yahushai was a man of the Most High, then that woman needs to be a woman of that's going to that man properly. And then children have to follow suit. We cannot break the chain, right? Engineer.
Hey, Chief Salakia, I actually have a precept to bring out in regards to that.
Okay. The anchor man got a quick precept.
Purpose only.
Go ahead, anchor man.
This is Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths.
Right, destroy the way of our paths, man. Our paths are the paths of righteousness, and they have been destroyed. Okay, absolutely. The water for that verse, anchor man. So, what we got, engineer?
This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by this channel is meant for educational purpose only.
All right, going back to that video.
Well, when men are in a position to do all that stuff, are you in a position to follow? No, I'm still not sure. Men are calling women's bluffs. When you call a woman's bluff and she still doesn't move, she's got a mule mindset. I have seen so many pretty, beautiful, and or gorgeous.
That is the end of that one.
That's heavy.
Yeah. Because, you know, when a man calls that woman's bluff, they still can't even change their mind. You know what I mean? Say, damn, I'm about to give away this good man because I just can't become subservient to him and can't get in my groove the way I should be with him because I've been taught to march to my own drum for so long. A protector of my own heart instead of giving my heart to him to protect it, giving my life to him to protect it. So this is the condition of the battle, right? And we want to talk about it tonight. And we also have we also want the female perspective on this because we got to get the family right. The men we can't get it right by ourselves,
Right.
right? You know what I mean? I don't go to no party, ain't no women there, right? we don't party in no bullpen.
Shout out
You
to
know,
Velvet Lounge.
all my Benjamins, we don't party in no bullpen, right?
Mhm.
So you gotta have, we can't go into this kingdom without our sisters, right? Our sisters are an important part of getting this right. Can't get it right without them, right? I know the men we chuck it up and we talk about it, but honestly, if we don't get them right, as we get ourselves right, we got to get our sisters right.
Right, we can't
We can't leave them behind,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
right? And then want to scoff at them talking about they going into captivity. We can't have that mind state. We can't let anger take over our own spirit. We have to soften our hearts towards our women, but at the same time, we gotta ante up or require a higher level of spirituality from them. When come to having relationships, because a lot of times we get into relationships for the physical, right, and not taking the time to develop the mental. You know what I mean? Here at the Light of Zion, we have courtship process that you got to go through in hopes to develop the mental. So when you do make that covenant, it's a covenant for life.
Mm-hmm.
Anchor Man, what you got?
Khan, that was definitely mighty, Chief. But when it comes to news, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The first thing I do have is let me bring this out because apparently, I would say about a few weeks ago, there was a hacker that actually hacked all of the Social Security.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So a lot of people's Social Security is looking real suspect right now. So let me bring this out real quick. Okay, Salaki, give me 1 second. Perfect. Let me go ahead. Percent. Okay, boom. So, Salaki. Okay, here we go.
Almost every American Social Security number may have been leaked in a massive data breach. Almost every American Social Security number may have been leaked in a massive data breach. The data stolen from national public data, reportedly dumped on a dark web forum by a hacking group called USDOD. The group, which is offering to sell the stolen records, claims to have personal data for everyone in the US, UK, and Canada. People potentially affected are advised to monitor their credit reports and manage their passwords effectively. Now, this alert comes as the 2025 Social Security cost of living adjustment is projected to be about 2.5%. That's the smallest increase since 2021.
Yeah, I mean, your Social Security number is how you do everything in this society. It's trying
Exactly.
people understand what a big deal that is. People got your social; they could take loans out of your name. They could do all kind of things, right? It could be economic catastrophe if social security numbers are in the wrong hands, right? But this is part of this kingdom falling apart. So
Exactly.
hey, we ain't worried about it.
That-
Okay. And
I look forward to that because not too long ago I signed up to this. I'll say program where they keep track of your Social Security number, keep track to see if your information is on the dark web, and they give you about $1 million or so policy for if your identity happens to get stolen. So similar to when we have life insurance, we don't hope to use it, but if at the time we do have to use it, hey, I'm glad I did get that next step and get prepared. So hey, I look forward to see what they do with that.
Just don't forget your 10%.
Of course.
God. And then on the other thing, on the other flip side, the World Health Organization declared a global emergency over the monkeypox virus. So what they're expecting is that they're expecting a mega lockdown starting early next year, 2025. Apparently, what happened is that this actual virus started in Africa, and then couple of days ago, it ended up there was 2 cases in California. So the director of the World Health Organization stated that this would be an international public health emergency. So let me go ahead and share this with y'all.
So would that mean a whole new kind of pandemic planning would be happening? Everyone's going remote again.
Yes, exactly. But it's going to be more intensified. I actually had a video, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to share it. But what they're doing now is like airports like LaGuardia, Miami International. What they're doing now is people that are leaving the airports, they're having people stationed there, and then they're actually going to start checking people and doing swabs and things of that nature at the airport to see if they have monkeypox. So it's going to be a lot more aggressive. Again, this is not as of yet confirmed, but they're saying that it's in the works. Some of the directors of the World Health Organization is even considering having a task force to go to people's doors and to actually check and verify to see if they've been vaccinated with the monkeypox. So
You know, just hearing about there could be another lockdown, it makes me think that everything price is going to go up, just like with COVID. After we just got off COVID, everything just skyrocketed up. That could be Esau's way of doing round 2 of this whole thing again.
well, Cap,
Yeah, go ahead.
just to add what you're saying, I'm gonna actually, there's a report from a billionaire. His name is Peter Schiff, and what he's doing, he's trying to urge the actual feds to raise the interest rates even higher, so that way it can actually crash the markets. So that's their kind of their whole plan, because what they're initially trying to do is a great reset. There's something that I urge our people to look into. It's called Agenda 2030. And Agenda 2030 was actually first introduced by the Economic Forum, that was actually hosted by Charles Schwab, which is one of the heads of the World Economic Forum. And it explains how they're trying to reset everything, pretty much crash everything, shut everybody's information. And their motto is that you will own nothing and you'll be happy about it. So
That's why there's so many more. If you don't notice this, everywhere you go, they have more rental properties being built than anything else. They used to build houses like crazy. Now they're building rental properties everywhere you go, because the idea is that the 5% will own everything and the rest of the world will rent from them. Right? They're trying to get ownership out of everybody's hands. So pay attention what's going on, family. You know what I mean? They're making purchasing a house almost impossible in these areas by raising the price of these of property, but not raising the income, the average income. So what you're gonna have? You're gonna have no choice but to rent. Not only are you gonna rent, but you're gonna be renting in there's gonna be a lot of roommating going on. Right? Your house is gonna be full, right? But it's gonna backfire on them, because we are resourceful people. We always find a loophole and a way around. All right, but it's going to force us actually to come together. That's what it's going to do. Force us to do the thing that we've had the hardest time doing, and that's getting on one accord and starting to depend on each other as a nation, as a people. This is going to be, as he think he's going to cause his great reset, it's going to cause us to get a great reset.
It's going to cause us to rely on each other more as a people.
Yeah.
So
Pox has been reported in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for more than a decade, and the number of cases reported each year has increased steadily over that period. Last year, reported cases increased significantly, and already the number of cases reported so far this year has exceeded last year's total, with more than 14,000 cases and 524 deaths. Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern.
Illegal activities. All
I have
content
accepted
channel is
that
meant for
advice.
educational purpose only.
The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in Eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives.
So people dying from this Mpox thing, huh?
Oh yes, Chief. The monkeypox, it looks crazy. You know, it starts off like a rash. It looks like an intensified or a more aggressive form of herpes.
Okay.
And it's crazy because they have one video where they showed this man, he had boils literally on the palm of his hands
Mhm.
and all over his body and everything.
It kind of
So
looks like the plagues of Egypt.
Yes, it.
you can't.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. He
Can't.
said he's gonna return some plagues.
Mhm.
Right? He said he's gonna return the plagues. So the plagues are gonna return to this modern day Egypt, right? And Mpox is probably one of those plagues, just like COVID was a plague. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? That the Most High released on the earth. So, and one thing we learned in COVID, like I'm saying, and we're gonna the Most High, he's a mathematical genius. When he make a strike, he strikes many things at the same time.
Mhm.
People were talking about being locked down. They said a lot of relationships didn't make it through the lockdown because
they were never real relationships in the beginning.
that's what I'm about to tell you.
Mhm.
That what we were learning is that we didn't know how to come together. We didn't know how to marry, right? We didn't know, we weren't marrying each other. We were roommating. And then
Mhm.
when the COVID came, it tested the waters where you had no other outlet but your spouse,
Right.
and a lot of them didn't make it through. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, as soon as that COVID was over, that relationship was over. As soon as they would have come outside,
relationship
they
got
had their bags
vaccinated.
in their hand, right? Because they realized during that time our relationship abilities are failing, right?
Mhm.
As a nation. And the Father's gonna keep testing it and putting us through situations that's gonna make our relationships be tested. You know what I mean? Not just with our husband and wife, but also with community. Because remember, if we can't get the family right, we can't get the community right.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Anything to separate us. It had people was afraid to stand next to each other, during that whole COVID scare. Nobody wanted, don't come by my house, stay in your house, right? It was crazy, right? But we're being tested, family. Are we going to rest on the principles of Torah, or are we going to resort back to animal instincts, survival mode, be brute beasts?
You get yours, I get mine.
You know what I mean? And resort back to being Vikings or something, and killing each other for a morsel of meat or a flagon of wine, right? So we gotta make sure that we ready. Family. The Father told us how to come together, right? Zephaniah 2, Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourself
Mhm.
together.
No nation
Nation
not
not
desired.
desired. Told us how to come together.
For us to do that, we got to fix our people, the condition.
Mhm.
That's why you talking about making the woman feminine, making the men masculine, because a nation is made up of relationships, and and that's it. You know what I mean?
That's true. Getting women feminine again, man. So let's get a scripture about the femininity of our women. Let's get Deuteronomy 28. You know what I want? That their feet were so delicate.
Yeah, kind of.
Right. Let's get Deuteronomy 28. And I want to start hearing from, I know we have some sisters waiting in the wings to get in on the conversation. So we want to pull a verse and let's talk about it as a family and let's get each other right. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat, that's lighting up the chat. The water for everybody that's lighting up the chat. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Sister Taha's in the building. Captain, the big cap, Bayaf Kazak is in the building. We got Highlands Counties on the check-in. All right, Big Cap Inaz in the check-in. All right, our producer, she's in the check-in, but she's also going to be on the line. Shamwa Allah's in the check-in. Bawa Art, the water for logging in, King. All right, Captain Masma Ward's on the check-in tonight. All right, Kashaki, all the way from NYC, is on the check-in. Lion Pars, he's tuned in. All right. Lion Pars tuned in. Lion from Zion 777 is tuned in. All right. Priest Tazalak is checking in from the medical
Even physical healing.
from the medical halls and doors and doorways. He's checking in with us. All right, it's gonna be a great show. So let's get that verse and let's get our sisters talking, man.
Fine. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you,
Right.
which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eye should be evil toward the husband of her bosom,
Right.
and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
Right. So what is he saying? The tender and delicate woman that used to be so compromising, so cooperative. Her eyes shall be evil. Now she's going to be stubborn and hateful and tumultuous, right? Because this curse has come upon her. Because of and this curse that came upon us is for our disobedience to God's laws. And I want to keep stressing that. Now that we are obedient to God's laws, get out of the curse. Who do we have on the phone lines?
So I put the phone number in the chat, 951-447-6305. Now y'all can call in.
You say you put it in the chat? I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it in the chat.
You didn't put a StreamYard link in the chat?
Emma Mariah.
Okay, we got a call coming in.
Okay.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
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 Who do we have on the line?
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Who do we have on the line?
Can you hear us?
I'm not sure.
This is Mariah.
You can hear us clearly, can you?
Yes.
All right, we got our producer Mariah on the chat line. Let's give her a round of applause.
Okay.
All right, we got our first caller calling in. All right, so we are discussing what we just read in Deuteronomy 28. Our women went from being so delicate and tender that they wouldn't put their foot on the floor for delicate and tenderness. And of course, this is metaphorical.
Right.
This means that, she was soft and like I said, compromising and understanding and just how can we say, what other word that we can say, that she wouldn't put her feet on the floor, right? Her
She has some class.
class.
I believe the women are saying on social media right now the word demore or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the hell that's about, but I just seen every sister using that right now.
What is it? What's the word?
Demore. That means like classy, classic, a classy woman.
And now they stop it with combat boots. Sister, what's going on?
Okay, I'm calling in because I have been talking to several women, the Hebrew Israelites or worldly women. And the discrepancy that both women are having is the submission. seems to be very challenging, as if it's something new because we're Hebrew Israelites versus the worldly women. And it's causing, I guess, a big issue in some of the households, how to be more submissive and not accepted as being controlled. It seems to be an embarrassment to some of the friends, the families, and how can they deal with it? How to kind of be more submissive, to have a healthier and better marriage. That seems to be an issue.
Yeah, we witnessed that word submissive is
It's like putting red in front of a bull.
yeah, right. That word submissive has always been looked at as a like almost a curse word.
Are you trying somebody?
You know, be like, what you mean submissive, right? But let's look at it because we are turning our hearts back to the Father. And let's look at that perspective. I guess we can look at Colossians. I like the way they put it in Colossians to get right to the point. So let's look at Colossians. Let's expound on that. Because I think that the problem with submission is the fact that we're both, the man and the female, are trying to occupy the same position.
Right.
So submission is like almost like when you go to like you watch WWE SmackDown, and you got
The Rock.
You got The Rock versus John Cena. They both trying to get the same belt. So they got to put the best wrestler got to put the other one in some sort of submission hold and get him to tap out for the 3. And that's the only way they get the victory. Where with the men and women, we shouldn't be wrestling on this. It should be no battle to get the submission. The submission should be given. Right? Kind of like when a child comes in this world, they look to their parents. They're already in a submissive state because they look to their parents for everything. You know what I mean? But because the women have been built up so much in the society, they almost feel like this is what has to go down for them to submit. The man got to put them in a chokehold, camel clutch,
Like,
right?
you ever remember
And damn near break their back.
Black Panther?
And I think that's why we have these discussions of people not wanting to submit, because in their sense, it seems like loss, like they're losing the battle. They lost the fight, right? You know, and I think that's the misconception of submission. But let's read those verses. We got sister on the line. Let's read those verses.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 18. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as it is fit in the Adon.
As it's fit what?
As it is fit in the Lord.
Right, and it's fit in the Adonai, which is the Lord. Right, the Lord told man and woman how to come together, and he said the wives have a responsibility to submit in that, not to be put in submission, but to volunteer submission on their own strength, right? And then what follows? Verse 19.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 19. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them.
Right. Let me ask you a question, sis. Well, you just is a producer, Mariah, on the line. So, but you are a sister in the nation. Let me ask you a question. Don't the wives that you have spoken to, don't they want their husbands to love them and not be bitter towards them? So if they want their husbands to love them and not be bitter towards them, then that could be the most motivation or the motivation that they need to submit. Because according to what we're reading here in the Bible, one causes the other.
Right.
right? This is an action and reaction, right? We can't have verse 19 if we don't have verse 18.
It's like you expecting the Most High to love you and want to be deal with you and shower you with blessings, but you're not following or obeying. That's crazy.
Can't do it.
There's something, a key thing that I noticed that wasn't in these two scriptures. 18 and 19, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as it is fit in the Lord. I don't see anywhere here where it says if he makes 6 figures or if he has credit for 750, 800, 900. It doesn't say any of that. It just says,
Preach.
wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband.
Let's start calling him Pastor Cole. Go ahead, Pastor.
That following part is husbands, love your wives.
Can I get a witness?
I think another problem with the word submission to some of us women is that they see it as a sign of weakness, and it's not. In fact, consider submission is a sign of strength. And as Shahrazad Ali asked before in one of her books, is what's the problem in our Black marriages? And I agree with her. The problem nowadays is that women do not want to get along with the Black man. And in order to get along, you have to have order. So the women learn how to be submissive. And that's the problem that they don't want to. That's the problem. They don't want to do that. They want to be, wearing the pants. They want to, have say so.
I remember so like, not to cut you off, it's something you said. I just want to let me back. Remember you said something a while ago. You was like, you can't have your own individuality trying to submit, because you got to go under somebody else's will, right? So.
Yeah, when I talk about not having the individuality, I'm really speaking towards two becoming one, no longer twain but one. If you're gonna be if two gonna become one what? You know what I mean? What one did you become?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're still both different, then you've never become one. You've never accomplished the oneness that comes with matrimony. That's an accomplishment. That doesn't happen by itself. You know what I mean? That's someone submitting, and that's someone committing, and it happening over and over again to the submission, and the commitment actually is happening like a cycle. You don't even know where one began and one ends. Kind of like a ring.
Right.
You know what I mean? The submission and the commission just keeps circling within that relationship. So you don't even know. For instance, it's like you see a well-run basketball team. You don't even know who's the leader on the court, because everybody is playing their role so well that everybody's getting their shot off. And you can't even tell. Like I'll give an example. Boston Celtics, I know so haters in the room, right? However, if you look at the finals, who was the star in the Boston Celtics?
All of them.
That ball was
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Who was the star? Who took over the game? Who was the person that won the game for the whole Boston? None of them.
Team, right?
It was a team effort. That is how a well-oiled relationship or family operates. The man doesn't have to beat his chest and say, "I'm the man in here. I'm the
I'm the head of the household."
It's my house.
You're in the house like you at camp. Why are you in the house like you at camp? If you are accepted as the head, and if the wife is committed onto you, y'all rolling so well together, that's not even a conversation to have. The children, you don't have to go to the children and say, sometimes when your children is acting up, you got to tell them, "I'm the parent.
They know that.
Yeah.
They know where they came from. Why are you yelling you're the parent to the child?
Hey, Salaki.
Yep, go
I
ahead.
have to remind them sometimes.
Well, Salaki Chief, another thing, this was a video I was watching yesterday, and this was from an Ishmaelite woman, which she had some points that made sense. Women have an issue with submission, but yet you submit all the time. When you go to work and your boss says, hey, I need the paperwork by 12 p.m., they don't bat an eye. They don't get confrontational. They don't say, well, when I feel like it, I'm going to get it done. You submit right away to this person who at any point, if they feel like it, they could fire you. So you don't have a problem submission when it comes to being at work, or even if a police officer stops you, you don't have a problem. But when it comes to your husband or the one that's protecting you, leading you, that seems to be a disconnect. So I think that our sisters have to kind of like realize that submission, when you're submitting, even in the scripture says, when you're submitting, you're not submitting not only to that man, but you're submitting unto the Lord, because it's the Most High through a Mashiach that gave you that man.
Gave him authority.
Right.
Exactly.
Gave
And vice versa, even for the husbands, because Salakia, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 28, it says, so ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. So if your man truly loves you like he loves himself, and he tells you to do something, it's in the best interest of the whole family as a unit.
Should be.
It should be, because you can't have an airplane full of passengers and the co-pilot and the main pilot, they fighting, or if not, the plane is going to crash. So the co-pilot knows that, all right, I'm under the main pilot, but just in case with the main pilot, it may be going off a little bit. That's when I kind of help steer the plane. So none of the passengers crash. So that's the same mentality that not only our sisters have to have, but our brothers have to have, because again, this is a nation building type of thing. This is not an individual race.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that made me think. You're saying submitting to the bosses, and that just put a value on things. I wonder if we value the relationships that we have, the marriages that we have, because if it's $20 an hour that we need to make in order to listen to the boss, okay, but let's also, what's the value for a husband sacrificing his life for, to protect his wife? So I think there's something maybe that's there for the woman to look at the relationship in more than just, all right, it's this guy that I'm dealing with,
right?
More than just, he's my husband. Well, I mean, that should be a lot in and of itself, but maybe kind of revamping that mentality when it comes to that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just want to close with the my paraphrasing of submission to any sister that is tuning in. Just always keep in mind that submission is a spirit of respect towards your husband. It's an attitude, which is an action intended to help your husband. You're basically trying to live a more contentful and peaceful life together. So when there's problems or any obstacles that may occur between the two, they are invitable. So basically, when a woman such as myself or a sister has an attitude of submission in a marriage, a heart of respect for her husband, it is much more likely the invitable problems will be resolved harmoniously without unpleasant quarreling and bitterness and resentment. So always keep that in mind, and I yield, and I have other callers that, in queue that has other things to say or questions. I just wanted to start the platform off with just a little bit, and I appreciate the time.
All right, well, the Wadi Mariah. All right, give her a round of applause for checking in on and being and bringing some sisterly love on the line. Right, and we're looking for some more sisters to call in and give their spiel on the matter, because that femininity has to be reestablished in the earth. Like I said, we ain't trying to go to no bull party, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Benjamite. We don't go to no bull party. That there's some coal they bought, right? So there's no women What are we going to the kingdom to do? The Arabs said they waiting on how many virgins?
70.
70. You know what I'm saying? Don't let their heaven be better than ours. You know what I'm saying? You know, we going off. Huh? So I mean, we definitely have to get our mind right and learn to enjoy our, you know, our counterpart. Because you got to understand, from the very creation, the Lord we made man male and female, made he them, and tell them to be fruitful and multiply. He made us to be counterparts to one another. He did not make man to dwell alone. He said it's not good for man to dwell alone, right? So he know that man has the power, and he's powerful, and he can do many
Tahara
things.
umbrella with raindrops.
Right.
Dove holding an olive branch.
Okay, we got another caller coming in. Come on into the building. All right, we got another caller on the line. Who? What's your name and where you calling from?
Shalom. My name is Sister Tahar.
Levi Sagafet.
Bien, bien. All praise to the Most High. How you doing, family?
All right, we got Sister
praises.
Tahar in the building, I believe, coming out from Valdosta, Georgia.
Right.
I want to check it.
I'm listening in carefully on the conversation, and obviously, I have a lot of points to give on the whole topic.
Okay.
Okay. Give us the bun on the preview, sister.
Starting out with our sisters, we do have to acknowledge that they need to let go a lot of their old ways. And then many of those women, they don't want to do that because it's either out of stubbornness or ignorance. But it's mainly because they feel like they have this type of power that it gives them. It gives them independence, and they gain from that. Now, they need to realize that it puts them in a position that's compromisable. Because having all that power, thinking that you can do everything yourself, you're a boss lady, you can dress however you want, that leads attraction to men who might be weak-minded in the spirit. And then I'm not speaking about brothers in the truth, but mainly our brothers out here outside the truth. With the sisters here that dress like that, those weak men, they attract them. And imagine getting in a relationship with them, only to find out on the news, you hear baby mama dead, or baby daddy and baby dead. So it's like, exactly. And it's that kind of trauma that leads our sisters into the same cycle again, where they feel like they can't trust their husbands. They can't fully give in that control. And that's what this truth is about. It's about releasing that control and just trusting in the Most High, seeing that you don't know everything that's going to happen in your life. He's there to guide you through it. And it's the same thing with the husband. Just like you brothers were saying earlier, the Most High is going to be the one who's going to raise up your husband in this truth to be a God-fearing man. And you have to actually trust him that he knows what he's doing to lead the family. And you have to be there to support him. But likewise for the man, he has to also support the sister as well, in a way that she can feel where she's being heard on her opinions, not to kind of like, yes, get on her level in a way she can understand you, but still reassert yourself.
All right, so that's she coming in swinging.
Right.
Right. She ain't hold back, man. But she said that the women have power. This is true. This is a very true statement. The women have power, and the power they have is the power of attraction. That is the power that the women walk around with. They walk around with this power of attraction. They know men will be attracted. They would want them. And that is the sense of power. And what she brought out, which was I think was very insightful, is, but what type of man will they attract? Right? They attract that weak-minded man. What is a weak-minded man? Somebody give me what is that? A weak man.
A weak man?
A weak man. She said you attract a weak man. A weak-minded man.
A weak-minded man is a man that's wayward in his thinking. He's always double-minded. A man that doesn't provide for first of all his family. Somebody who's just on the streets. He may have, maybe a couple baby mamas out there in the streets. He's not willing or wanting to become a man. He's not putting those childish things away, but instead he's actually amplifying those childish things. So I think that's what a weak-minded man would be.
Okay, that's from the anchor man with the master plan. Yeah, he gave us a breakdown of the weak-minded man. I think I have a scripture out that's coming to mind because it's very important that we can identify the weak-minded man, so our sisters can know. Listen, you can't go that way. Don't get fooled into entering a relationship
Right.
with the weak-minded man. Later on, you're going to be, looking for a way out, right? You know what I mean? Looking for an escape route.
Yeah.
You
You know,
know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
times they go to the weak-minded man because there's accommodation. You know what I mean? He don't care if you're not being submissive. He don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
He don't give a damn. But later on, when you're miserable, you can't turn back to that righteous man.
He's looking at your looks,
Right.
Your, what your, scripture say, the scripture say, don't look at on the dainties of the woman. How does scripture say again? Don't look not unto the things that are precious.
Right.
Don't look into the things that are precious with her, meaning that her sexuality is precious of a woman. That's why a father, he said he loses sleep at night, hoping that his daughter doesn't give away what? Her virginity, her preciousness, her sexuality, and deflowers herself or demotes herself by spreading herself around. Right? This is what the scriptures say. But when it comes to that weak-minded man, I want to pull a scripture. 2nd Ezra 14:14.
You want to get it, Cap?
I have to start with 14:13. 2nd Ezra 14:13 and 14.
Second Ezra chapter 14, verse 13.
Right.
All right. Verse 13.
Mhm.
Now therefore, set thine house in order,
Right.
and reprove thy people.
Mhm.
Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption.
So what type of man can do these things? This would be a strong man that can set his house in order, reprove his people, comfort such that are in trouble, and renounce corruption. That's a strong dude right there. That's a man that's standing on business, right? He taking business, taking care of stuff in the home and in the community. People got problems, they coming to him. And he's correcting his people. He got, his brother ain't operating right with his wife and his household. He gonna rebuke that man. He not gonna just sit back and let him do what he's doing. Right? That's a man standing on business. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 14.
Mhm.
Let go from the mortal thoughts.
So now this is going to the things that create what you got to do to be a man. Like verse 13, you got to do what's in verse 14. And the first thing you got to do is let go of mortal thoughts. Weak men think mortally. Mortally is fleshly, right? Weak men think just about this life, just the joy. I want to just have fun. You know what I'm saying? That's how the song goes. I just want to party and bullshit and party and bullshit. That's what it makes songs like that. That's a weak-minded man, right? He just want to have fun, drink rum, and have fun, right? Read.
Con. Cast away the burdens of men.
Right? Now you got to cast away the burdens of men. What do men mostly worry about in society today?
Money, clothes, and O's.
There you go. Money, status, what their friends think, how do people look at them. But really, I wonder if it's money so much, because if we was really worrying about money, then we'll be stacking it, investing it, and building it.
Right.
We're not really worrying about money. We're worrying about things.
The fun.
And we want things that give us status. I mean, we want to be shining. Whether we got the money or not, we want to be shining. Because most of them out there that get that fast money, they spend it as fast as they get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? Them shines cost money, right? So they don't really got a thing for money, because people got a thing for money. They're gonna have it, build it, take care of it. But they want status. Read.
Cast away the burdens of man.
Yep.
Put off now the weak nature.
And these things are a weak nature. Put off now the weak nature. Not being able to stand on business, not being having no discipline. You know what I mean? Just, you know, that party mentality, that fun, that YOLO, you only live once mentality, right? Not connecting with the fact that they have a God and the God is watching them. You know what I mean? That's a weak mentality. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be their own God is a weak mentality, right? Because it's easy to be your own God. Now people just say the Lord told me this and the Lord told me that. That's a weak mentality. You didn't read that in the Bible. You didn't read that in the Bible. You want to tell me what the Lord told. Like you got the hotline to the Lord. Right?
You got the Urim tell them.
As long as I've been in the truth, I don't know. The Lord ain't tell me much. You know what I mean? Maybe my phone is broken, right? But he did tell me to read this Bible, and the Bible has told me tons of information.
Right.
Tons of information has come from these scriptures. I got no hotline to the Father, right?
And that's honestly, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
And that's honestly what our sisters need to look out for whenever they begin any courtship with a man, to make sure that they're not being manipulated in this truth.
That's right.
By anyone who says something like that.
That's right. God complex. A lot of us come into this truth and become sometimes in the truth or out of the truth, because in the world they say they spiritual. You know, they
say spiritual a lot.
Yeah, they say they spiritual in the world, but in the truth they say the Spirit showed me, or the Most High showed me.
The higher power.
Higher power. No, he didn't. I challenge that every time. No, he didn't. How he showed you? Because he said there's no private interpretation. He told us, he said nothing in private. Bible tells us that. Right. So for you to tell me the Most High told you this and told you that, you tell him the scriptures is a lie. All right. So yes, absolutely, sister. Don't let nobody fool you with them type of statements that weak-minded, being their own God spirit. Discipline is strength. Right? Following rules is strength. Rules given to you, not rules you made up. Right? That's strength. So, sis, what do you think about the submission?
Right. I wanted to expound on that. I heard you earlier said that the man and the female, or the wife and the husband, they're always trying to occupy the same role, but really none of them are willing to give control. The issue with that is, say for instance, you have a family of your own, and none of them are willing to give control, and the wife isn't submitting. Imagine how much confusion that causes for the children, where they're supposed to have their father as their head, they're supposed to be going under his order, but also the mother is supposed to follow after his lead. If you guys have so much contention, then what is your kid supposed to think? They're going to be here confused, and eventually they're going to disrespect the father, and as they grow up, be disobedient children, and no one needs that, honestly.
Sounds good. Absolutely sounds good. But submission can be challenged. Because it's easy to submit when you agree.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we say let's go to if your husband says to you, let's get on the cruise ship.
This too.
Let's get on the cruise ship and let's go away for 7 days. Does that take much submission to agree to that?
No.
Yeah, right.
That's not much submission, because
you're gonna
want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like con, right? But why is when your husband shows up with another wife and says, "Hey, this is going to be our sister wife, and she's going to join the family"? What happens then?
Or he gives you an assignment that you may not feel like doing it.
Now what happens?
Or little,
Does submission go away? Is my question.
I can't get flow.
Honestly, yeah, that is a hard topic for most sisters. But when something like that happens, there's a lot of self-examination that needs to take place with our sisters. Like, for example, with the sister wives, we clearly know that when a woman doesn't want to submit to that, it's because they're dealing with their emotions and they're not thinking clearly of how could this benefit the family. It also goes into whether or not this was spoken about beforehand
Mhm.
and how it was approached, what was communicated.
Okay. You see now the submission has a condition now. Did you hear the condition to the submission? Because it's something that is not so pleasant,
Right.
right? Even our other one, Hamashiach Yahweh, when he was going to the cross, he prayed the Most High and said, "Take this cup from me."
Mhm.
Right? He said, I pray thee, take this cup from me. Even when Moses was outside of the promised land,
He said, kill me.
he prayed to the Most High, let me come into the land. Right? And the Most High told Moses, no, right? And speak no more to me about this matter. Matter of fact, you know, he ain't just tell him no. He said no, and don't ask me again.
Mhm.
And Moses had to what? Prepare. And after that, he told Moses, and go get Joshua and get him ready because he's going to take the people. And Moses had to swallow his what? Pride and follow what he was told because he was fully submitted onto his God. He didn't say to the Most High, man, but you should have told me this from day one. I ain't like the way you approached me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way you said that. You know what I'm saying? You should have told me that Joshua was gonna be next. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling the way you say that. When Yahweh was ready to go to the cross, he didn't say to the Most High, you know, man, you should have told me there was gonna be everybody was gonna be there. I didn't like the situation of this cross.
Right. I want to stay up there with you.
You know what I'm saying? I want to stay where you was at.
You embarrass me.
It's very important that we
man.
look at this because the examples are in the Bible on how to deal with things. It's not that I'm making it up. It's right here. These were hard situations. Moses was getting ready to die. Yahweh was getting ready to die, and they had to suck it up and be gracious in what they was going to be served. Right? I want to look at Philippians real quick as a family. Let's read Philippians together as a family. Philippians, the 2nd chapter. Because this is important when it comes to loving each other and being committed and submitted in marriage, and there can't be nothing that moves you from your partner that you committed yourself to, right? You got to have that whole heart connection. So I want to read oh man, so much in here. But gosh, you can just read it from 1, I think. Wait for the Lord is holding him. Read from 1.
Con. Book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 1. If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies.
Right, comfort of love, fellowship of the Spirit, bowels of mercy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Listen to what the scripture is talking about. This is what brings us together in Yahweh Shai, right? It's a soft heart. It's not a hard heart. It's not a stubborn heart. It's a heart willing to suffer for their brother, for your sister, right? That's what's going to be required of us in these last days. Read.
Verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
Right.
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
Come on.
But in lowliness of mind, let each esteem each other. It's like it. Let each esteem other better than themselves.
Let each esteem other better than themselves. Right. The spiritual answer to that question is when that thing is brought to you that you maybe don't want, but it's brought to you by your other one, right? you got to esteem it better than yourself. You got to say, you know what? The water Yahweh for whatever is being brought to you in your walk with the Heavenly Father. That's the spirit of the Holy Spirit.
Right.
That's the submission that the Father is talking about. And the preferring of one another, that we esteem each other better than ourselves, meaning that we can never feel pride, because pride got into Yahushua. Pride got into Moses. That's why Moses didn't want to die. That's why Yahushua wasn't willing to die, because pride came in and said no. And, you know, since I want to expose to you and help you that you can understand that that feeling that came upon you when I dropped the other wife, that was just a little bit of pride coming in, right? It's dangerous because it will turn your heart from the thing that you know to be good. You knew submission was good, right? We all agreed submission was good. But when something challenged our pride, then it's like, wait a minute now. I don't know about that. I got to think about this one. I gotta get, it has to be the right situation. It has to be the right thought pattern. No, it has to be everything it was as if we were going on a 7-day cruise, right? It has to be the same, right? And that's the challenge. I mean, Yah requires us to win this battle against this flesh. This flesh got the pride. The spirit don't have it. The spirit is, he just wants to do Yah's will. Right? Let's read on.
Very humble.
Read on.
Verse 4. Look not every man on his own things.
Don't think about how things affect me all the time. That's us looking at our own things. How I want this.
Right. How I feel.
How I feel. Me. Right? I don't know what you going through, but I feel this. He said, look not every man to his own things, right? Read.
But every man also on the things of others.
Right. There's a reason why Yahweh said, Moses, you got to die in this mount. Because then how would Joshua bring us into the land? It was Joshua's time. There was a reason why Yahushua had to die on the cross. Because if he didn't, what place would we have for repentance? Right? How would we have the blood today to cover us? We would have no offering to cover us. So it was crucial that these things came to pass for the plan for the Most High to come to be fulfilled. And that's where we have to be careful in the femininity of our sisters, that no matter what, you don't lose your femininity. You don't let no one take it from you, not even yourself.
Right.
That submissive, agreeing spirit. What is that? It's
you trying to kill the pride out? The spirit of pride?
What you beating up? Engineer beating up something, right? Right? That submission spirit, that a willingness to let go and let be is beautiful in the eyes of the Most High. And he required it of the great men, right? He told Abraham what? Get rid of Hagar.
Right. Abraham didn't want to do that.
He didn't want to get rid of Hagar.
He didn't want to do that.
But the angel came and he had to what? He had to shut down.
Right. He had to submit.
Yeah, and he was vexed before the angel came. But when the angel came, he had to suck it up and put on a happy face. Because thus saith the Most High. All right, let's read.
Verse 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushua.
Right. So the Father is just telling us how to think. What type of mentality should we have? So I just wanted to bring that off. As you go down in the chapter, it talks a little bit more about the power of humbling ourselves to what the Father said, and not being forced, because you can't be forced into submission. Like we were showing examples of pro wrestlers, putting each other in a submission
Right.
hole. Our wives can't be
Grudgingly
forced
right.
into this position of a wife. This is something that you bear your soul willingly in your femininity, right? Without getting too graphic, the biological. Let me see how I can say this without being too graphic for the
To HBO.
The way
Okay.
things are made, they fit together.
In engineering, I'm gonna go the engineering route, right? When you marry two things together, one has to interlock into the other, right? One has to mold to the other, and there is a connection that's made, kind of like plugging a what they call like a plug into an outlet, right? That's how the connection is made. It's made that way for a reason, because it has to submit to what is being brought to it, and everything that's being brought to it, in hopes and in prayer that it trusts, right? That you trust the entity that's bringing it to you. You trust the person. In a sense, the person that's bringing it to you. You don't want to marry a man that you don't trust.
You
Don't do
You
that.
might as well get lost.
I tell any sister, man, don't marry if you don't trust him. Because on your road together, there's going to be a time where he's going to make a decision that you may not understand.
And you got to trust it.
You got to trust him. Right?
You just dropped
What I
the
did
gem.
notice,
Mhm.
sorry again.
No,
What
I
I
wanna hear
did
sister
notice is that sometimes there's a lot of sisters who like to micromanage their husbands and not really allow them to lead. And I
Right.
really think that's just another thing of control that they need to let go of.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you have that wonderful relationship with your husband, he's gonna want to hear what you have to say. You're not gonna have to micromanage him to be a part of his kingdom or his world or whatever he got building, whatever he got going on. He's gonna want to hear what you got to say, because wisdom is a feminine spirit.
Right.
Wisdom is a loving spirit, right? The way we're drawn to wisdom, and the wisdom that come out of the mouth of a woman, the scriptures say in Proverbs 31 that she opened her mouth with wisdom, right? The way we treat wisdom is we're supposed to look at it like a beautiful woman, a fair lady. I'm trying to think of what I know Song of Solomon goes into it, but he goes all the way in. I'm thinking of a verse that brings that out in the best light. That wisdom is that woman. He said, well, let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 7, I believe it is 7:1. I think Proverbs 7:1. Let me see Proverbs 7:1. So we can bring that
Talking
up.
about that promiscuous woman.
No, you're gonna give her to you. Now her is wisdom.
I got the value of
Was
wisdom.
it 6:1? I'm gonna find it. My son keep my words.
8-1. Try 8-1, Chief.
8:1.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's in the beginning.
Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice.
Okay, I like it. Let's get that. 8:1. Chapter 8:1.
Con. Book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice?
Mm-hmm.
She standeth in the top of high places,
Mm-hmm.
by the way in the places of the paths.
Mm-hmm.
She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city,
Mhm.
at the coming in at the doors.
Right.
Unto you, O men.
Unto who?
Unto you, O men.
Right. So do you see the relationship between wisdom and man?
Mm-hmm.
So, sister, if you have wisdom in your mouth, your husband will love to hear what you have to say. Look forward to hear what you think. And you won't have to battle for management, right? Or micromanage their husbands, because their husband is going to want to hear. That brings us to another topic that we will talk about tonight. You got that other video where a man is saying to give his wife the check, give your woman the check.
Okay.
Let me get that video up.
I think I seen something. I think I posted something like that. I think I
Let's get
posted
that video up.
That brother
brings us
smoking
to another
weed.
topic, and this is a topic that's going to be interesting. Since I don't know if you are sitting on this or on this. I don't know if there's other callers going to come
That
in.
brother smoking ganja.
Matter of fact, is there any other points you want to make, sis, before we move on to this other topic?
The only other thing I could say for our sisters out here, if you ever need a prime example of how to be a feminine woman, the two women I look after in the Bible are Judith and Susanna, because they had good reports of themselves. They were devoted to the Most High. They were honest, modest, and thoughtful. So definitely take after those sisters and continue in the scriptures, meditating on how to be. Need that help? We always have the brothers at the Light of Zion or the elders at the Light of Zion who could provide that counsel.
All praises, sis. Calling in. All right, let's
Shalom,
give a round
family.
of applause for Sister Taha on the calling, on the check-in, and her wisdom that she added to the room. We do appreciate you, sis, for calling in. All right, I want to play that video. Then we're going to take another caller. Understand? We got another caller waiting in the wings. So let's play that video of give her the check. We're gonna call it just give her the check.
Give her the check.
Oh man, can't make this stuff. Actually, it's in the chat. It's in the Sofa Live chat.
This one?
I don't think that's it. It's a man.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
You sure that's it?
I don't think that's
Yeah, that's it. No, I think that's it.
We left his wallet.
Yeah. Because he left his wallet, then he's gonna ask her to pay, and she gonna wall out.
Nah, that's not it.
That's not it.
That's not
You
what
sure?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a different one. Okay.
Yeah, that's not it.
Right here. I'm gonna repost it right now. This is it. I know this unholy prophet.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's it right there.
That's it right there. That's not it.
All right, loading up. Where is it at? All right, there we go. Oh, Khan. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. There we go.
Free Plugs is in the building. Shalom to Free Plugs in the building. Waterfall checking in with us. Shalom family. All right, everybody else that's logged in. Anybody who's logged in haven't checked in yet, go on and check in the chat. Let us see you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification for every time that we put a video up, you in the building. We talking about it here, man. We ain't running from it. The Bible tells us how to be men, women, child. Men, women, and children. It tells us to be husband and wives. It tells us everything. And we're going to bring everything out according to the word of Yah. Right? That's what Israelites do. All right, so let's play this real quick.
Because a woman's a nurturer. She's gonna make sure she's looking good, there's food in the house, the bills are paid, the children are well maintained. Because real men work to provide. We're working to take care of our family. And the only men that disagree are the sassy men. Sassy men work to be cute. They can't even go a week without getting their hair cut, but their women hasn't had their hair done in months, nails done in months, or bought a new outfit in months. If you want to remove your woman's stress and worries, hand over your paycheck. Without
This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by
Unknown
this channel is
caller.
meant for educational purpose only.
Got a call coming in. You can let her in.
I think that sister might say, give her the check.
All right.
I don't know.
Let the sister in. Shalom, since you want to check in. Welcome to
I
the
was
Bring It Out
that-
Show.
I was directed to call.
All
and see
praises.
how-
We are playing a video right now. Just hold tight with your comments until the video has been completed, and we'll get right to you. Go ahead, Cap. Let's play that video.
Why does that voice sound so familiar?
complaints. And whatever's left over from that check, you use on yourself. But you're working. A man is working to provide because a man is a provider. A man is also a maintainer of his woman and his family. If we're going to maintain our woman and our family, we have to make sure they're properly equipped. So if you're working, you should be working to provide for your family if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, spend your money however you want it. But if that's your woman, hand over your check. or if those are your children, hand over the check to that woman so she can take care of your responsibilities. That's how you maintain things. A woman is a manager of a home. A woman runs the home. She has to be properly equipped with the things she needs to run the home successfully. If not, your woman will suffer from anxiety, stress, and depression. Hand over your check. She deserves it. And if that's your woman, you chose her for a reason. If you're saying, oh, I can't trust her, you can't trust yourself because you chose that woman. Hand over your whole paycheck. All praises. Man should hand.
We said handing over your whole paycheck. Who do we have
Oh.
on the lines? Sister, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Shalom. This is Alyssa. How are you?
Oh, this is in the Parathi's in the building.
Hi there.
All right, all
everybody
praises.
doing?
Right.
Sister, what do you think about that? Should your husband hand over his paycheck to you? And then what
I won't say
the
the whole,
residue
I won't say
he
the
get
whole,
to spend?
I won't say the whole thing.
What you would say?
I mean, it just depends on how you run your household, I guess. Some people, like, okay, so, right, so, like, I know some people that their husbands give them their paychecks because their husbands are not good at finances. So they just give their paycheck to, they hold back something for themselves and then they give the rest of their check to their wife so the wife could, like, divvy it up, do whatever, pay this, pay that, and then, that's just how they do their thing. But then some people, some men don't give their wives their paycheck. They might just, like, their wife might have to say, okay, well, we got to pay light bill, phone bill. It comes up to $500 and you'll have to ask, It just, I guess it depends on how you run your household.
Do you think one way is better than the other?
No, I don't think one way is better. I think once it gets the job done, I don't see it being better than the other.
Okay.
I don't think it's better. I mean, once the stuff is getting paid, it's getting paid. But I don't think one is better than the other. It's just a preference. But like again, some men are bad at finances. Some women are good at finances. Some women are bad at finances. So their husband might not give them their whole check because she might do something crazy.
Right. Right. So Sister Parathia says it's a matter of people's ability to
manage money.
What say you, Captain Amor?
I think she definitely have a point on there because if your man is like somebody like Naboth, I think his name is Nabal, but Abigail. If you have like a Nabal as a husband, it may not be wise. He might spend that on the next PlayStation 6.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Spend the whole check on PlayStation 6. What say you, Captain McCall?
Interesting thought. I understand, there's different roles. Now, if that's her strength, hey, go for it. Utilize that strength.
Utilize the strength, right?
There's talents for a reason, and if he's not known for being reliable when it comes to saving money, it just spin. Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
I think you just can't have that spirit that what Chief was saying earlier. I'm the head.
Right.
I'm the man.
I'm the man.
I'm not giving my woman my money to nobody.
This my house. This my house.
It's my house.
Yeah, there with that, it comes a balance in terms of understanding that she's not also going to be like, okay, this is the money that only I can spend. It's, how would I say, she's not giving him an allowance at that point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like. Well, let me see. What? How about you, Anchorman?
Well, what I feel is that she does have some interesting points, but I feel that let's say if the man is not good with finances, I think instead of just giving the money, they should sit down and then budget together. Whatever he's weak in, and if she's good in finance, she can maybe educate and kind of improve. You know what I mean? Because when you're in a relationship, one is supposed to better the help the other. That's why basketball coaches, like for example, Kobe Bryant was one of the best basketball players, but there were still areas in his games he could have perfected. And what happened is he came with the coach, and then the coach was like, all right, let's come together and let's work on those areas that you need to perfect. So that way you can win you another ring. Are you?
I'm gonna watch his eyes not
people are
giving
not
a check.
coachable.
I'm gonna watch his eyes not giving a check. Right? He spoke like a Levite. He's not giving
Some
it.
people are not coachable.
That some people are not coachable. I like that answer. Some people are not coachable.
I'm the man.
Some people will not be able to get better.
Well, I
too attractive.
I get it, but I feel like if you guys are in a relationship and there's again that trust aspect, he should be able to say, okay, I know that my rib, she's more on point with the finances, so let me go ahead and just, hey babe, let me go ahead and see what you do. Maybe you can educate me, help me with certain things, because at the end of the day, you have to be, if we're together and we have a family, there's some things are always going to be uncomfortable, but they got to get done in order to get to the next level. So that's also that's another point of pride. You feel me? If you're uncomfortable, then get out of your pride, because at the end of the day, you have to be you have to be able to recognize, hey, I know that even though I'm the head of this household, I may have flaws, and where I may falter at one area, my rib may be good at that area. So, and vice versa, where my rib may not be good in this area, I may be good in this area. So that way we can come together and create a symbiotic relationship where we can grow and build this nation.
Symbiotic.
That's good. Okay, I feel that. Okay, I gotta give an example, right? My husband's right here, so I can say this because he's sitting right next to me. I want to save money and I can save money, right? But I'm not good at saving money, right? I'm not the greatest at saving money. And I'm not, and I don't, and like when I say that, and I'm also not the flashiest person for people that know me. Like, I'm not out here buying shoes, hair, weaves, nails, eyelashes. Like, I don't do that stuff. But I know it's hard for me to save money because I will buy stuff for like my house. Like, I'm addicted to like household items, right? Like, I'll go buy a rug and I don't have a need for a rug, right?
Home goods.
Yeah, like I'll be in Home Goods and Marshalls and Ross and all that stuff, right? So for like me, my husband's better at saving money. He'll save money and I'll be like, hey, can I buy if I needed some extra money for something, right? And he might say, okay, well, I don't have money right now, and it might be an urgent need, but then he'll have money. I'm like, man, but I thought you said he didn't have no money. But he saves his money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's tried to teach me, and I've tried to learn, and I've gotten better at it. I've gotten better a little bit because I do little things like, to try to save money. But he's just real better at that area. So sometimes, which we've done before, I've taken certain amounts of money from my paycheck and I put it into his account because I know if I put it there, it ain't gonna go nowhere.
Okay, so you use them as a cover.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And like certain things that he's good at, like, right? So like, when it comes to like the bills, right, in our house, when these bills are due, he don't know due dates or anything like that, and it's not because he's just okay, whatever. It's just that I know he ain't gonna keep up with that, and if I don't do it, something's gonna get cut off. So I have to keep up with it. So I have an Excel spreadsheet. I put our bills in. I put our monthly stuff in. I write it down, and that's how I manage what's due each month. Because I can't leave it up to him to that, because he's gonna forget something.
And
but my husband, I know beautiful. If I need extra, and I say, hey, I need some extra, he's gonna give the money. He's gonna be like, all right, here. What you got? He don't even ask me what I gotta do with it. I need $150. Okay, here, and I just pay what I gotta pay.
Okay, and this works.
And it works. That's why I said sometimes I think we be overthinking this thing, and it's just a matter of understanding that that's why the Most High said 2 hands are better than one in the scriptures, or 2 are better than one for many different reasons. And we have to recognize that where one lacks, the other's supposed to pick up.
I think it comes to a point of maturity and discipline. Like all matter of righteousness hinges on discipline. And like we spoke about it a little bit before, like, listen, if I give my wife the whole check, I have to know that we are in one accord with what we consider important to what we consider not important.
Right.
We have to have that. I think what the anchor man said, it symbiotic, right? Mind. Right? I'm gonna use that word. I don't know where he pulled that word from, but we gotta have that symbiotic mind to say, well, I know that my husband feels these things is where importance. If saving money is important to your husband, then you save the money. If buying vacations are important, then make sure the vacations are bought. Right? Whatever it is that is important through the leadership of the house, it should be carried out by the wife. So I think what the brother was saying about give the wife the check, I think that's something that you could aspire to, but that takes a level of unity, right? Unified thinking, unified mind, unified stance on what is important within the house. And getting back to the topic of femininity and the molding of the woman to the man, that unity and that becoming of one flesh it's possible for the woman to hold the check once that unification has been met. What happens is pride comes in, especially nowadays where both parties are working, right? Because when you're working, wife is working, husband working. Sometimes the wife make more than the husband, right? So she looking at it this year, hold on, majority, this money, my money. So what's important to me should trump what's important to you. But we know with Torah, that is not the case. Torah doesn't make exceptions for who makes more money. Torah does not make exceptions for winning the argument, right? Torah only tells us how to array ourselves in order, right? Can I get Matthews 19 real quick? So let's get Matthews 19 on this. I'm just expounding a little bit on this discussion. I'm gonna get right back to you, Sister Prophet, on the line. Just want to get some give the Most High word on this, so we could look at this as of what the Father's plan was. Matthews 19 and verse 5.
Book of Matthew.
Verse 4.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 4.
Yeah.
And he answered and said unto them, oh, let me share my screen too. Screen share. All right. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Right. So we know it says that in Genesis, right, chapter 1, right, verse I believe 27, right, where he's talking about the male and female that he's made. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 5, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
Right. So that's going into now the second chapter of Genesis. Go ahead.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
And they twain shall be one flesh. Go ahead.
Wherefore, verse 6, they are no more twain, but one flesh.
Very important that we look at that. What the Father is saying here. They twain shall become one flesh. Right. That they no longer twain, but one flesh. That process means that you on one accord, speaking the same thing, having the same focus. This is something to aspire to. See, a lot of us, we get to twain. Do we get to one flesh? We went from being two individuals. We become twain, right? That means we interlock with each other in life and things, and physically as well as mentally and spiritually. But do we get to the one flesh stage? The one flesh stage, right? In one body, how many heads in one body? One. You can't have two minds. You can only have one, right? So you only can have one aspiration, one focus, one idea, right? And once you get there, that level of oneness, then all those other wonderful things can come afterwards, right? That's a high level that it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes some people never get there. They just stay twain.
Right.
We interact, right? You got yours, I got mine. We come together on these couple of situations.
Ideals, right.
That's as far as we. That's as twain. That's as close as we're going to be. Are we going to become one? Because if we become one, whatever money she making, whatever money you making, the understanding is the same.
Mm-hmm.
My idol one tells me what he wants to do, and that's what we do. It's kind of like a business owner. He has what? Accountants. He has something called a controller. Big business, big enterprise, we call it controller. The controller decides which way the finances goes. He has like a CFO, right? Chief Financial Officer. That decides where the money goes. The CFO is not always the owner. Sometimes they're not the owner. But the owner trusts the CFO
Make those decisions, right?
to make those decisions, put the money where it got to go. Why? Because the CFO knows what the owner's interests are and has shown and proven themselves to be, how can I say, in accordance with whatever the owner of the company wants and aspires to see done. And a lot of rich people don't handle their own money. They get somebody who has more time and skill to allocate funds where they need to go. And then if the owner wants something specifically done, they go and say, well, do this or do that. But most of the time, and the CFO might tell them, oh, you can't do that right now. Right? Because they're controlling the money. So that oneness is there. So I use that example because we've seen it in society. We've seen it work. So we know it works. Can we get there in our households where the money is unified and the desires of money can be discussed and unified between husband and wife? So what do you think about that construct, Sister Parafia?
Okay, so I have a question. So since everything has to be unified, right?
Yes.
So if I have my own checking account,
Mm-hmm.
my husband has his own checking account, and then we have one account where bills come from. That, so you're saying like that can't, that's not unification?
It depends on your husband. It depends on if that's how he can see and understand what's happening. Because sometimes you need to have separate accounts for
purposes.
for having the right perspective on your money. Because sometimes you see all the money in one pot, it's hard to determine where
it's going.
To what?
So
so
I
that's
just wanted to make sure.
You could definitely have separate accounts and several accounts, as long as all the accounts are being governed in unity, right? Unified. Say like we don't have like sometimes I gotta bring up my Abba real quick, but he used to tell me, you never let a woman know all the money you have. You said you make sure you have that account that don't nobody know about, right? I understand from his perspective why he felt that way, because unification for him was not a part of his desire. Because remember, we coming from that mentality, we coming from that slavery. Don't forget where we coming from.
Right.
Our parents was in that slavery. They did not know what we know. They did not live how we live. You know what I mean? A lot of us are first generation Israelites. The people that we came from were not Israelites, so they don't know. So from that lifestyle, I understand, my man, what you're talking about. Check yourself, right? But if Yah is the governing body in your household, right? And if his ways is running your house, then what is the problem? Right? Don't need to have a secret squirrel account somewhere where the money's stacking, right? And nobody don't know about because you're worrying about what's going to happen if somebody knows, right? That submission takes away that. The submission and the femininity of the woman takes away that idea that I got to have a secret account somewhere. Because I don't have to protect myself from my woman, right? Or from my wife or from my spouse, right? And likewise, the woman says, I don't have to protect myself from my other one, my Lord, right? We can't hide nothing from the Most High, right? Why we want to hide something from your other one, right? Because that breeds that same mentality that we had before we was woken up, right? Before Yah came into our lives. I mean, any other comments, Sister out there before we get into the end of this show? We do thank you for logging in and calling in with us and being a part of our conversation. Any other comments on this bringing femininity back?
No, that's it. Thank you.
I do appreciate you calling. Let's give a round of applause for Sister out there logging in with us and talking about the finance of the household. Very important topic, because a lot of marriages are destroyed over finance because we don't look at finance correctly, right? A lot of relationships is basically even brotherhoods and stuff is jacked up over finance because we don't look at money properly. We value the money more than we value the person. We're supposed to use the money and bless the person or love the person, not love the money and use the person, right? We shouldn't use people for their money. We should use money to bless, for use of people's needs, right? And that's how we do it right? It was an insightful Bring It Out show. We had a late start, so we ran a little late, 11:17. We thank everybody for sticking with us this late into the night. We thank the anchor man, the engineer extraordinaire, sharpshooter, right? It was a pleasure to be here with y'all and have this discussion. I know DJ Baruch has been waiting in the wings. He's gonna get on and give us some tunes before we break out. Shout to the whole Shofar Loud camp and the Shofar Loud station. Make sure, if you have not already, make sure you log into Shofar Loud. Make sure that you have that locked into your YouTube favorites, so you can constantly play Hebrew Israelite music and fill your environment with good righteous music, top-notch righteous music through the Shofar Loud. Until we meet again, family. And parting would say, oh, what, we got one more thing coming in? Okay, what you got?
Khan, so just we'll say a rollover topic, a question from Free Plugs. They sent in a question to the camp phone. It's a rollover topic, so tune in next week and you have an answer. So this question, it says, how do you deal with a person who is feeling frustrated and disillusioned due to overwhelming challenges like financial stressors, which is causing tension and arguments within the relationship with either the wife or the husband? They have begun comparing their relationship or their situation to others who aren't following God's laws, but seem to be benefiting financially. And this has led to questions of valuing and maintaining their faith. Despite their husband or wife's reassurance that the Lord will provide, they feel let down, especially as they struggle with unpaid bills and lack of income.
I could answer that real quick. I know it's a rollover topic, but I want to put something in their minds as they have these, as reading that, something comes to the spirit. Financial situations or stresses don't materialize from the thin air. Financial situations and stresses exist because of actions that were taken, past actions that were taken that created environment. That's why they're there. Look into your past and see, how did you get to where you are, and deconstruct how you got here instead of trying to make comfort in a bad situation. We don't need to get comfortable in bad situations. We need to get out of bad situations and correct them. But sometimes we don't know how we got there. The best way to learning how you got into a bad situation is you walk back through your history. You take your own history journey, right? The scriptures say to us, things that's written aforetime is written for our learning.
Right.
Things you went through last year or year before, you went through it for your learning. Before the financial stresses were there, or if they were always there, that is what you and your husband need to focus on, getting those things out of your life, whatever financial stress you're having, not getting comfortable in those financial stresses and saying Yah will provide, because what Yah provides is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He will not rain money down from heaven for you. He won't pay your bills, but he will give you the opportunity to escape your situation through wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and obedience. That's the power that we serve. We have a responsibility as God-fearing people to what? Keep his commandments, not just dietary law and ceremonial laws and laws that consider religious laws, but the laws that govern our financial situations, our household situations. Those laws must be kept as well. So we can talk more about those laws in the next show. That'll be the rollover topic. What are the laws that the Father has given us concerning finance, and are we keeping them? So we're going to talk about that in our next installment on the show. We do thank everyone for logging on. Who sent that question in?
It was Free Plugs.
Free Plugs, the water for logging in. We will deal with that topic more in depth on where these financial stresses come from and how we can mitigate those and get those out of our lives. Right? Any closing thoughts with anyone?
I think this topic was heavy. Because we're tuned in, they're adding substance to tonight's conversation. I think we got to do a part 2.
Got to do part 2? Okay. Well, next week we're going to deal with the financial stresses and where they come from, and what's the laws of dealing with finance in a household, and in with the Most High. He gave us laws on money, right? Money wasn't a free for all. Money plays a role in our lives, and we need to make sure we're taking it serious, because we don't want to be lip service. We want to be able to bless one another, literally bless one another, right? Not just say be blessed, right? But give the things to one another that we're in need of. And the only way we could do that is keeping the financial discipline that is written about in the scriptures. So we're going to get on that next week right here. It'll be our Tuesday. It'll be hopefully 8 o'clock next time.
Yes,
But
sir.
stay tuned for the show. Right? It might be tonight was 9 o'clock, but we're working on that, family. But until we meet again, shalom to the family that's logged in from the BTO show. Hallelujah. DJ Baruch, take us away.
Yeah. Mix on the beat. I see you, Asa. Look, I'm back to business. Thought I was kidding. We in the streets, you in the kitchen. Over a rock, we on the block. Casting down imagination, say your thoughts. Hey, I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Hey, I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Oh Lord, look at what we have here. Most people go on cruise control, so they don't have to stare. It's that time to elevate. I don't like to take the stairs. It's about your works. If you're really trying to make it there, boy, I'm back to back. Hey, I'm back to back.
Back to business, I'm back to business with no suit and tie. If you go against the god of I, that's a suicide. Mommy, that's a stupid dot. Captains of the coup d'etat. I be doing, you be dot. You apply, do your job. Going back to back. We back to business. We back to business. Hey, back to business. We back to business. We back to business. Ow!
I'm back to business. Thought I was kidding. We in the streets. You in the kitchen. Over a rock. We on the block. Casting down imaginations in your thoughts. Hey, I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Hey, I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Oh Lord, look at what we have here. Most people go on cruise control. They don't have to stare. It's that time to operate. I don't like to take the stairs. It's too much of what if you really tell
Yeah, knowledge like the crystal. Couldn't hide these blessings going crypto. Good cover, good bread, good life. Good vibe, good tribe, this the life. Yeah, ain't no knowledge like the crystal. Couldn't hide these blessings going crypto. Good cover, good bread, good life. Good vibe, good tribe, this the life. Young light bringers, dropping bread to the hurt, but we not FEMA. Hate don't want me to fall, you a big dreamer. Got the power in law, different D-meaner. Big brew, caffeine, I need no creamer. Good news gave me hope again, redeemer. We can running out of time to make the soul cleaner. Fresh bread on the table, I was ball cleaner. Eat it up, young birds eat the crumbs off me. Good for my people, put the time on me. Stretching out the phone, yeah, far as I can reach. When you read your hoop, can it come with out things? They roll, rag it up, stretch it on forward, stack it up. 24/7, setting up, just treasure on my mind. Stack it up, stack it up, stack it up, stretch it on forward, stack it up, stack it up, stack it up, just treasure on my mind. Stack it up. World say big bank, take a little bank. I guess they talking big Franks and not eternal fame. I'm about to hit a lick up at the dice game. He said his bag probably gonna change his life, man. The same night he died, clearly that was life change. Cause he ain't spend the dime, clearly it was all vain. Plus I know he had plans to cop the white range. Just praying in his life he did the right thing. So when I'm saying big bankroll, talking like insurance for the soul. Storing up treasures while I'm here so I can walk through this door. So all the money in here.
Never thought I was a goner, God kept me in his hands. Christ took the wheel. We don't do no traffic jams. I don't need a Benz just to prove who I am. Technically, I ride foreign cause my car is from Japan. That's Lexus. Like photons is not mine, but his shine, no question. The Most High open both eyes and provide, that's blessings. From soul ties to old lies, yeah, both time he protects us. I magnify his essence. His presence is a weapon in a different space, in the secret place. Don't need center stage, they want to show I can demonstrate, but the feeling fake. This ain't rap, this is how I praise. This ain't for your stage. They don't understand what it take. I see it in their face. Treat the ministry like an industry. I tell them that claim you righteous cause you got for rap. That does not equate. Big mistake. No family reunion. I cannot relate. Me and Chef making something shake. But we been equate. That's my bro. I fall and he fall. On this BB8. Anyway, you get your soul straight. Make it through them gates. What's your fate? Power in his hands. Just like Kevin Gates. Judgment Day. What is you gonna say when you in his face?
He remember how I was. I repented to the power and I put away the plug. Now I keep my flesh. OJ, wear the gloves. I'ma say they haters. I said, brother, wear the love. Time to put my mask on. Humble gotta be for me to snap on. I never fell out. Probably stumbled, now I'm back on. I've been overcoming since a nigga had a trap phone. Melodies from heaven, I could never sing a sad song. Roll with the father, hope you never get that bad phone. Hallelujah, now I'm back home. Keep it 144, let me put a stack on. God in my team is not the one you wanna stack on. They call me Big Chef, not the little one. The devil want this car, don't get a real gun. They tryna blackball me, but I still won. Humble than the beat. Damn nigga, you a real one. Separate the fake from the take. Let me demonstrate. Either might I hate, always not. I don't deviate. Take a leap of faith. Out my mind, now it keep me safe. Trust is up in heaven, burning faith. I don't need a safe. I see double hours over, so it looks like I time. Enemies don't need no clothes, just rubble for no sign. For a shake up, the wake up, be pin free your mind. Leave that white man alone, don't partake in his crime. Cause it's just coming. Old from the country burning like a oven. I was shot coming, nigga thought he wasn't. Dummy, you niggas really thought he wasn't. They say I'm over jealous, hell no, just rebellious. Remember how to get us. But no, I can't get it. We don't make the hell be ready. I mean, how can I ever since I'm better? Gotta get better. I want this for help. Lord, forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors, gotta gather together. These two lemons make us better. Bread of mercy, water of affliction. Look at applications, had to get it out the trenches. What the teachers on the streets, we gotta build our people's spirit up. Sin, I had to give it up. Feel like I didn't do it, so I go hard for the Lord. I can never do it up, so I just be doing more. What the hell you waiting for? I know the rules, but you say you gotta move. With blameless, we can't move. It's like, but then you gotta shoot now. We have to have this they get the pictures up, they gon' frame us. Put up a nigga with a beard now, they gon' blame us. DNA of a king, the gene inside us. They just want a reason to demonize us. We don't conform to the system, so they calling us dangerous. Yeah. Saying we anti-Semitic, that statement can't be respected, we can't be comedic. All of my family's connected. We get our people in houses they lease to own it. Got food programs on the streets to feed the homeless. While police walk in the streets and beat batons, our elders visit shelters and prisons like Priest Kahan. Get our people out of gangs, we turn them to team of soldiers. Put the drugs down, we help them get clean and sober. I'm trying to understand how you calling us terrorists. When you had the towers knocked down, you hired the Arabics. How you mad because we talk to our children and still in truth? When you walk in churches and just shoot like Dylan Roof. You top the charts when it comes to imminent evil. Walking in Walmarts and killing innocent people. Look, they want us locked, waiting to bring the clamps. Just like Katrina using their readers for FEMA camps. Want us to get the picture, so they gon' frame us. Laughing at this fake news. Put up a nigga with a beard now, they gon' blame us. False flags. DNA of a king, the gene inside us. They just want a reason to demonize us. We don't conform to the system, so they calling us dangerous. Let's go. Homie, it's all bad. The government's fake news and false flags. Racist media sign ops. We can see through the line stop. Agents and espionage, sketching facades, ready to mob, respect be to God. Look, still praying my people get it right. Right America, don't come for the Hebrew Israelites. See what you're doing. First day the shit happened. We got the faces of the suspects. Next day, put up the faces of the suspects. Completely different people. Say anti-Semitic propaganda on Instagram. Got a moment, spread out this world like corona. Waking up our people out of comas. Yeah, it's true, they can't stop now. No matter what they do, we bring it out now. You come against the Lord, you get confounded. Put that two-edged sword, you get chopped down. Hey, you see the keys on the down. Bring it out the word in every spot now. 1611 is on lockdown. All around the world, got it locked down. You see the kings on the block now. Bringing out the word in every spot now. 1611 is on lockdown. All around around the world, got it all, we got it all. Yeah, thinking it's a drive now. 40 soldiers creeping like the thief in a nightcap. Never be my brother, if we roll, we gon' all ride it. They don't pray to love my brother, my life up on the line. Hey, they gon' get this wisdom, the teeth don't go out to teach. I should roll the pressure power, you heathens just read me. Right down the kiss up, bring up picking slaves out for the kingdoms. I never know he be reaching. We be in these trenches teaching outside. Hey, see the kings on the block now. Bring it out the room, let me spot now. 16, 11, it's a block now. All around the world, got it locked down. See the kings on the block now. Bring it out the room, let me spot now. 16, 11, it's a block now. All around the world, got it locked down. Boys got the tools in the car, standing in the same spot with Lil Johnny shot. Get your pastor with the scriptures like the dude that got up. I walk the land, he just dropped us all that thing up. I'm in the grave, in the valley, in the midst of the drop off. Crucified on the streets like Christ when he got lotto. It's the ring of the king, done us. Never miss with the sword, I praise it to the Father. See the kings on the block now. Bring it out the world and let me spot now. 16, 11, it's a block now. All around the world, got it locked down. See the kings on the block now. Bring it out the world and let me spot now. 16, 11, it's a block now. All around the world, got it locked down. You want a prophet, they just ask me. Running this race is like an athlete. Actually, Judas Maccabees, master me. Got him saying, book, chapter, verse, without that you ain't saying prophets the law, let's get it poppin'. Repenting ain't no sin, it would be, that's the only option. The scripture is the picture, the Christian pastor be prophet. They be the gold in the left, homie, we all be no talking. Let's go. See the kings on the block now. Bring it out the world, let me spot now. 16, 11, it's a block now. All around the world, got it locked down. In the mornings, I said, toe, modest apparel, proper clothes. I'm about to get ready for the show. Right before you leave, you never know. Eat my booty butter right up on that toast. Food is like a drug nowadays, so don't overdose. 9 o'clock, 12 portion. Just got a call, we might be touring. Coming back, it's something foreign. When Yahweh teach, it's never boring. He never sleeps, he never snoring. How I know, hear the engine roaring. People in the Bible are my role models. Anything less than that, I don't follow. He didn't want to shove it at me full throttle. I don't chew, I don't swallow. Cause I be quiet like it's no tomorrow. Leave nothing to chance, no lotto. Diligent hand makes a man rich. The wife at home makes the sandwich. If a man don't work, he don't eat. And who do you hurt when you don't speak? And who do you hurt when you don't teach? And who do you hurt when you don't preach? Resurrected from the grave, resurrected from a slave, resurrected in his name, resurrected to hold the faith till the earth will see. Righteous branch, righteous leaf, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. But when is the end of the first? And how long will Jacob curse? And how long will Israel be cursed? And how long will your prophets prophesy when your sins die? They hold themselves guilt and not all these hitters on my head that they will say never did this resurrection. Your death gon' be my resurrection. My faith gon' be my resurrection. Yahweh shine my resurrection. I'm born again, I'm resurrected. Your death gon' be my faith gon' be Yahweh shine my resurrection, resurrection. I'm born again, no more sin. He conquered devil, resurrected, resurrected. When I was going to my Yahweh shine, resurrected. All evil in this world, God made this shit existed. Righteous Peter, Jacob, don't be done in captivity. LOC, hit us up our community. Second week of minutes, I'm trying to tell us that Holocaust is epic. I'm not saying how they come to save your plan. Only Negro, Hispanics, and the Native Indians. Hell no, we ain't committed. The Holy Bible cut like a gas penetrating. Now you're awakened and you're shaking. When you're in the presence of the Son of Man, you can't be breaking. The book of Exodus is written in 20:3. That's a hell no other God before me. Now so many God Father have made thermonuclear bombs, so full of blasphemy. Your death gon' be, my faith gon' be. Yahweh Jireh, resurrection, I'm born again, no more sin. He conquered death, resurrected.
Hear the whole voice in the chief ways of my voice, hollow, simple one to you the simplicity, true take knowledge, Proverbs can rip it, go back to the scriptures, through Adam, through Mashiach, let's be the power in the hour of our Lord of Mashiach, and our shot, that we may know in the resurrection, in the first fruits of them to rise, he will operate us up by his power, even the Joshua, hear these words, praise ye Yahweh, hallelujah. Praise for his mighty act, hallelujah. Praise for his greatness, hallelujah. Let everything that have breath praise ye Yahweh, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hey.
Your death gon' be, my faith gon' be. Yahweh Jireh, resurrection, I'm born again, no more sin. He conquered death, resurrected. My soul's precious. The capacity of the treacherous, so honest treacherous. Same place where your sins is, the beautiful flames. God's idols, the holy God, the prayer of your whole life. I touch the edge for my own survival. My heart is what a target is, only about your body.